Some people hate being alone. Silence makes them uncomfortable. They constantly need noise, conversations, notifications, anything to fill the gap. But then there are people who feel the exact opposite. For them, being alone doesn't feel lonely. It feels peaceful. In fact, sometimes it feels like the only time their thoughts can truly settle. If you're someone who genuinely enjoys spending time alone, psychology suggests you may share 6 rare traits. One of them might explain something about you that you've felt your whole life but never quite named. And the first one might already feel familiar. Imagine this. It's Friday evening. Your phone lights up with plans. Friends are heading to a crowded gathering, full of laughter and music. Everyone seems thrilled. But inside, you feel a quiet pull in the other direction. You picture yourself at home instead. Curtains gently drawn, a single lamp on, maybe a book or a half-finished thought waiting for you. No pressure to perform, no need to keep the energy going. While others might label that choice as boring or odd, for you it feels like the perfect reset. It feels like returning to your own center after giving pieces of yourself away all week. People who thrive in their own company tend to have remarkably active inner worlds. When the outside noise fades, your thoughts don't stall, they expand. Ideas that felt stuck during the day suddenly connect. Old memories gain new meaning. Future possibilities start to take shape. This is why time by yourself rarely feels empty. Your mind becomes its own lively companion, turning stillness into a place where creativity quietly sparks. The second trait appears the moment social stimulation starts to build. Constant interaction isn't unpleasant for you. You can enjoy people deeply. But your mind processes every layer at once. Tone of voice, micro expressions, the unsaid meaning behind a casual remark, all of it lands with an unusual weight. After a while, that mental workload builds up. You begin to crave a pause, not to escape others, but to let your nervous system sort through everything it just absorbed. This need for recharge isn't a flaw, it's simply the rhythm of a mind that listens closely, and solitude becomes the gentle way your system naturally recovers. But here's where it gets especially interesting. The third trait shows up in how you see the world when no one else is around. When you're not juggling group dynamics or background noise, your attention naturally drifts toward details most people overlook. A slight shift in someone's posture, a pattern repeating in conversations, and emotional current running beneath the surface. Over time, this quiet watching turns into real insight. You start seeing the story behind the smile, the hesitation behind the joke. You might even catch yourself thinking, I saw that coming before anyone else does. Friends often turn to you for perspective because you just notice. This isn't about being distant. It's the natural advantage that grows when you give your attention room to focus instead of scatter. Another thing many people who enjoy solitude discover is this, a fourth trait that might surprise people the most. You stop looking for outside approval. People who value their own company develop a quiet form of emotional self-sufficiency. They don't need constant outside input to feel steady or satisfied. A peaceful evening, a personal project, or simply sitting with their thoughts is enough. This doesn't come from pushing people away, it comes from learning how to become a safe place for yourself. You know who you are, even when no one else is around to remind you. And this is where the fifth trait reveals itself, in the way you process experiences. In those reflective moments, your mind doesn't skim the surface, it goes deeper. You revisit a conversation and suddenly understand what was really happening. You sit with an emotion long enough for it to reveal its lesson. You connect events that once seemed random. This is where genuine insights are born. Solutions appear without force. Old questions finally find answers. Growth happens in private, long before anyone else notices the change. Solitude simply gives your mind the one thing it needs most, uninterrupted time. And then there's the final trait that quietly changes everything. Because you've practiced being comfortable in your own presence, external ups and downs lose their grip. Rejection stings less. Criticism doesn't shake your core. You've learned how to sit with discomfort and walk out clearer on the other side. This inner steadiness shows up as calm confidence that others sense but can't quite name. You set healthier boundaries without guilt. You show up fully for the people that matter, then return to your center, recharged and present. Of course, none of this means you avoid relationships. Most people who cherish their own company still treasure meaningful connections. They simply choose depth over constant noise. One honest conversation instead of endless small talk. A few close bonds instead of crowded rooms. They give their full attention when it counts, then step back into stillness without apology. But here is the misunderstanding that still follows so many who live this way. Others assume choosing solitude equals loneliness or some kind of social shortcoming. Yet the opposite is often true, because the stillness you seek gives you something the world rarely offers anymore: clarity, a chance to know yourself without filters, a chance to hear your own thoughts above the noise. So if you've always looked forward to those peaceful evenings, those quiet weekends, or those moments when the world finally slows down, it may not mean you're distant or different in a negative way. It may simply mean your mind was built to thrive in those reflective pauses, where thoughts can unfold freely, where ideas can take root, where emotions can settle into understanding, and where you finally see both the world and yourself with fresh eyes. That calm pull towards stillness you felt all along, it's not something that needs fixing. It's a rare strength worth protecting. It's the quiet superpower that has been guiding you all this time. Which of the 6 traits hit you the hardest? Drop the number in the comments. If this video made you feel seen, hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.